Have you ever had a run where your legs, your lungs, your heart could keep going, but your mind just gives up? Yep, me too. Let's talk about it. Hey friends, I'm Coach G, and this is your Running Coach with GMacSpurr podcast. I help middle and back of the pack runners build mental strength, self-belief, and run with joy, without the pressure to be anything other than who they are. Okay, let's talk mental fatigue. You've probably experienced this. Your legs are okay, your breathing is fine, but mentally you are done. You talk yourself out of going one step further. Maybe you even convince yourself to walk for a bit and then never actually get back into the running groove. Just prior to stopping, perhaps you felt bored, or maybe you're defeated by the pace or anxious about the distance still to come. You stop, and then the shame spiral begins. This is so common and such an overlooked piece in traditional training plans. They prepare your body, but they rarely prepare your brain. Mental fatigue can come from stress outside of running, so for example, work, parenting, hormones, or from within running itself, especially when your inner critic is loud. That voice may say, you're not a real runner, you should be able to go further, you need to go faster, this pace is too hard, you're never going to manage this distance, just quit. Here's what's really happening. Your brain is trying to keep you safe. When effort feels unfamiliar or uncomfortable, it interprets that as danger. So it creates thoughts that encourage you to stop. What helps is building awareness and self-trust, noticing the thought, because it's just a thought, naming it, and then asking, is this actually true? One of my most memorable long runs was a cold Sunday morning. I'd slept terribly and I wasn't in the best mood. But I had 16k on the training plan. About 6k in, I started that mental bargaining. Maybe 8k is enough today. Maybe I'll do my 16k tomorrow. Maybe I'll do 8 today and 8 tomorrow. Like, you know the drill. All of those thoughts started coming in. Physically, I was fine. But mentally, I was done. I was fried. I wanted to walk. Nope, I didn't want to walk. I wanted to get to a nearest bus stop and head straight home. What helped though? I slowed down. I stopped looking at my watch. I switched my route to be heading in a homeward-ish direction and ultimately away from the bus stops. And I used self-talk. What I'd been practicing out with running, I used it during my run. I repeated, you're safe, you're strong, one step at a time. I finished the run, not because I pushed through, but because I listened. I adjusted and I supported myself. That was a breakthrough. If you've been listening to these podcasts the last few weeks, you will know that each podcast comes with a journal prompt section. So grab your pen and paper and let's do some mindset exploring. When do I feel mentally tired during a run? And a follow-up question, what triggers it? Side note, not eating well before and during your run can also trigger mental fatigue. So something to explore. And I do have a freebie 3-part series on what to eat before, during and after your run to give you strength, physical and mental. So if you aren't quite sure about your fueling strategy, then grab that freebie. Okay, next question. What's my default self-talk when things get hard? What's my default self-talk when things get hard? And the follow-up to that one is, where are there patterns? When are you seeing and hearing the same thing? At what point on your run? Can I really get into the data of your thoughts? And finally, how could I speak to myself differently in these moments? If it helps, think of yourself as your friend. What would you encourage your friend to say to themselves in the moments where their brain gets a little mean? In the Runner Identity Project, which is my new signature program, we work exactly on this kind of stuff. We are building mental stamina, emotional regulation, and you get a toolkit of supportive thoughts that you can lean on, not just in running, but in life. If your brain quits before your body, then let's get that shifted. All the details for Trip are in the show notes, so head on down there for all of the links. But I just want you to remember that you are not your thoughts. You can change them at any time, whether that's in the moment of your running or changing your runner story. Run strong, run happy. Chat to you later, friends. Bye for now.